Hello, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be with you today. You know, we are in a beautiful Istanbul with a fantastic young dermatologist, Dilay from Istanbul. And this is a nice occasion to learn and share in a successful symposium organized by the LA&HA Academy. And what is the best, stage to discuss things with such a nice doctor.
Thank you, Prof. Marini. So I'm a dermatologist from Istanbul, and during my residency at Istanbul University, I had a chance to work with photoanalyzers and SP dynamics especially. So it was a really, really nice laser to start with, and we had a great journey with it. So my question for you is that for dermatologists, which laser would you recommend us to start with to complete our laser journey?
Well, this is a fantastic question, which is always, the same question received at every meeting. Which laser I should start with? Well, first of all, you need to start with this laser. Your brain. You need to understand that the laser is a tool, and you need to select what kind of tool you need for your practice. Mm-hmm. If you are, a dermatologist, you have a vast varieties of indications, from cosmetic to corrective and so on. So you need to focus on which indication you want to have. Versatility is a plus. If you have a versatile wavelength, like for example Erbium YAG, the Erbium YAG wavelength is able to vaporize precisely the tissue like you have an eraser, without creating such a big amount of thermal damage. So you can be very, very delicate on even delicate areas like the eyelids, the perioral, for kids. But the same wavelength, if you modify the pulse duration, you can do much different things. You can give the temperature to the tissue in order to tighten the skin, to sculpt the scar, to create any kind of improvement to the skin that you want. And on top of this, you can also use an ablative wavelength in a non-ablative way. Thanks to the fact that we are able to develop a train of pulses which are producing some heat from the surface of the skin, and we allow just the temperature to travel inside to create a thermal effect, to modify the scar, to improve your skin, and to also, since we are talking about medicine or longevity, everybody wants to live longer and wants to look better. So Erbium is one important issue. The other is Nd:YAG. Nd:YAG was considered the Cinderella of wavelength many years ago, because when we were talking about targets, chromophore, which is the specific absorption substances for specific light, size, so everything was kind of mathematic. But Erbium Nd:YAG at that time was not fitting any kind of rules. Yeah. Because Nd:YAG is absorbed by melanin, is absorbed by water, is absorbed by, hemoglobin. So where is the specificity? So no specificity, so Nd:YAG was considered a no-no wavelength. But now, with the pulse modulation, we can use this wavelength to target all the three different, chromophore with high precision. So technology is developing, technology helps, but the most important thing, engage the brain before firing the laser. You need to know what you want to do and what are really the end results you want to obtain. So these two wavelengths together, you can cover most of the indication of dermatology.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the response. I was wondering whether you have a specific memory that you remember that you have changed and that you have touched the life of a patient with these lasers, that you can say, wow, this patient has been really improved and now they're really going to have a better life.
Well, I have more than 30 years of experience with lasers, and I can tell you that I was able to help my patient along my learning curve, and along with the technology improvement. So the first and the most important patient I was able to help was a port wine stained young fellow.
Oh, yeah.
And but at that time, it was the era of selective photothermolysis. Number, red chromophore, specific light, and the size of the vessel minimum. So we were using a fixed amount of energy and a fixed duration of the pulse. Many treatment, but I was able to help this young fellow. But then, it was not reproducible because this kind of approach was not valid for everybody. Today, we combine laser. We use different combination to get what we want to obtain. I like to use the combination of Erbium YAG, Nd YAG, and photodynamic therapy to treat field of cancerization, which is a fantastic. So you renovate the skin, you beautify the skin, but also you clean the skin from the damaged cells. Another thing I like to use is, of course, the sculpting of the skin in rare diseases. For example, if you have epidermal nevus syndrome, I help a patient. They got a epidermal nevus, which is a kind of cuirass all over the face and the body. And you can imagine this young fellow with this kind of like a warty, hyperkeratotic kind of alteration. So under general anesthesia, I was able to sculpt the full face. And the guy just, he was a different guy.
Yeah.
So it's just
fresh face.
Exactly. No, but he was like a sculptor working on a piece of marble, and then
Yeah, exactly.
And then you were, coming up with the feature of the face. So this was really a nice result.
We also know that longevity is a popular topic nowadays. So, which lasers of Photona do you use for longevity purposes?
Well, I use them all, but before I didn't mention, we were talking just about the long pulse lasers. But today, the technology helps us with the picosecond pulse and the nanosecond pulses, which are specific laser able to produce specific, not thermal, but photoacoustic effect, so vibrational effect. And this kind of effect, using different kind of wavelength, are able to rejuvenate the skin without thermal effects. Because what people want, we have two concepts in, of course, longevity. One is when you enter longevity a little bit too late. So you already have damage to the cells, so we talk about rejuvenation. Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing is when you are young, like you, and you don't want to get old, so it's pre-juvenation. So pre-juvenation is slowing the process of aging, keeping the function of the skin always, at the maximum level. Pre-juvenation, you don't need much, so you need procedures that they don't have any downtime. So a little bit of redness for, let's say, 2 days, and then you go back to the usual skincare routine. So this is pre-juvenation, and you can combine the Q-switch laser, the picosecond laser, and the Nd YAG short pulse laser. Fantastic results. In case you have to rejuvenate, it depends on how much damage you have. If you have a lot of damage, and damage means not only wrinkles, sagging, and so on, or blotchy pigmentation, you may have also precancerous or frankly cancerous, skin alteration. So you need to eliminate and address all of this. And this is for this reason I like to do the photodynamic treatment together. So in case you have a minimal damage and you're behaving well, because the longevity issue, you need to behave. It's a 360 approach to well-being. Yeah. So diet, exercise, skincare, sun protection. So everything is working together. So you need to behave well. You have an investment. You have, your genetics, and you cannot create anything more. So you need to preserve that. But if you behave well and you get some initial sign of damage, then you can go back to how you were a little bit before, with it without much damage to the skin. So we change, we eliminate. The concept is to eliminate the cells which are not working, substitute and remodel the structure where the skin and the superficial layer of the skin stays, and so the skin behaves much better and works better. Because the concept is a wonderful skin is a healthy skin.
Yeah.
So you need to work on your health, and then you have a wonderful skin.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I have one last question. So, if we are starting to use these devices, like these energy-based devices, which device should be the first one to purchase? Like, which one of them do you think that has the longest ones?
Well, energy-based devices is a big question, because energy-based devices are everywhere. So you can have radio frequency, you can have intense pulse light, you can have you name it. Mm-hmm. But again, it depends on what is your target. In my opinion, you should start from the very beginning with something challenging to learn, because the learning curve is not that steep. So you need to devote a lot of years of experience to master the laser. So in my opinion, laser should be the first one. Then of course, it is easy to learn other energy-based devices which are less complex. So then you can combine with this kind of, let's say, more simple devices, a nice recipe to get, a much more personalized treatment to the patients.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you so much, Prof. Marini.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's great to have you here in Istanbul.
My pleasure. Istanbul is a wonderful city, and when I'm in Turkey, I always feel very, very well, because people are so friendly, and the atmosphere is really embracing me. Thank you.
Thank you so much.